Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick from the NewEnglandWeatherLife.ning.com with the Saturday morning update. Of course, we're looking at two storms. One that I can pretty much hang your hats on. The other one, we're going to certainly be looking at, and the statistics favor it hitting us. But let's start out with what's going on with the analysis currently. We've got snow showers that are hanging around across most of New England. We've got a Nearline trough around Casco Bay, and that is allowing around the Carrabassett Valley, and that's allowing for some heavier bands of snow to develop, but mostly it's just light activity, bringing about a dusting to an inch. Further to the south, I can take you to the radars, and let's go over Florida. And what you notice is you can see the heavy rain that's filling in across Florida. This is, of course, our storm developing. We've been watching it for a while. I talked about it in yesterday's forecast video, that it could become an issue moving offshore of New England and then backing into New England Sunday night into Monday. I still think that's going to happen, and for that, I can show you the wharf, and there we go. Let's make it go over New England. And so here's the convective bursts. Here's the convective burst, folks. And then the storm is developing to the south. Here it is, missing us to the south and east. Look at that. Sunday night into Monday morning backs into New England. And the model's kind of peters it out by the time you get to, eastern New Hampshire, western New Hampshire, Massachusetts. But I think that's pretty much normal for them, and based on this and based on most of the other model products, we would be looking at a significant snowfall event, or for some folks, by the time we got to Sunday night into Monday. It's been a trend to see that coming in across the models, and I think that should continue. Now, of course, we turn to our attention to the storm coming up on March 3rd. What are we looking at that? Well, I think, again, I told you earlier in the video as I was starting you off that the statistics favor the storm hitting us, and I can show you the 84-hour GFS, and it's got the precip coming out across the southeast. This is not the storm we were watching. This is the storm we're watching now coming across Florida. And here's the 84-hour GFS, and you've got, to me, this looks like a southeast mid-Atlantic storm, and that automatically gets me excited because the models, especially the GFS, have been suppressing these storms way too far to the south so far this year, and this is that means that they should be trending north. So I'm going to finish up the GFS run, then show you the Canadian. The Canadian's certainly a lot more exciting. I could take it at 6Z on Wednesday. And what do you know? It is a southeast mid-Atlantic storm. And you look at this and you say, Nick, it's going to miss New England. Well, I can take you to 18Z on Wednesday, and it does miss New England. But, I think the GFS, a lot of times this year, has been trending for storms to miss us way to the south among its guidance, and then closer to the event, it trends towards hitting us. So, in this case, it wasn't trending for a way miss. It was trending for just a little bit of a miss. That means it's certainly going to trend towards it hitting New England, a further northerly track. I have no doubt about that. So I can show you the Canadian now. And this is the 12-hour precip. It's not working quite like... Oh, okay. So let's start out at the beginning. It wants me to start at the beginning. Here's that first storm coming through Sunday night and Monday. Here's the new one developing to the south. And let's move it. Oh no, we gotta move it south again. I'm kind of new to this. I got a new graphic system with this screen recording software, so sorry that I'm not quite so savvy with it as you might hope for. But nonetheless, this is the time we get to. This is midnight on Wednesday, and you see the precip is filling in across southern New England. The Canadian did a great job on the last storm. I think there's no doubt that it's doing a great job on this storm as well. And on a Thursday morning, you still got residual moisture, and then by Thursday evening, it's pretty much done. So, based on the Canadian, you'd be talking about I'd say 4 to 8 inches in a lot of spots. And it does bring some light precip into central and northern New England. Not an incredibly sharp cutoff to this storm. A lot of storms so far this year, they've had a sharp cutoff. This one, not quite the same. The reason for that, not quite such a cutoff between warm and cold air. It's going to be marginally cold air for just about everybody. And that's been the trend. Yesterday, I saw it coming, and we saw temperatures that were not that deviated in southern New England from northern New England, which told us that a storm in the near range, which would possibly be the March 3rd storm, would not have a sharp cutoff. And you say, Nick, what is the government saying? What is the forecast actually saying from real people, not models? Well, I can show you the HPC graphic here. And what do you know? It does bring the precip into southern New England, light stuff into central and northern New England. Not an incredibly sharp cutoff. So this tells us that we should certainly be looking at the great potential. Statistics favor the storm coming in on March 3rd, and I can hang your hats on the one coming up Sunday and Monday. So basically that's how we're going to conclude things today. Thanks for watching this TNEW video. My name is Nick, and I'm for the New England Weather Life.ning.com.